Hey everyone, welcome to another Malts and Meeples, and for some reason that light keeps on getting really bright on me, so I'm gonna go adjust it really quick so I don't blind myself and wash myself out. Stand by. Alright, much better. I will not be blinding myself right now. So, thank you everyone for joining us for another Malts and Meeples. I wasn't planning on doing an unboxing, but then I remembered I had a few little things here. So I thought might as well bust them open. Main thing for today is going to be playing Ganz Schon Clever, twice as clever, or doppelt so clever, and Clever Hack 3. I have all three of the clever games, so thought it'd be fun to see what sort of score I can get across all of them. Before that, obviously have some spiel that I normally do, but I'm going to keep it pretty quick. I'll do more of it at the end. We have the beer, PBR. Now, if there's a cheap beer that I like, this is one of the two. PBR or Hams. Those tend to be the lagers. I think this, what does it call itself? Yeah, lager that I like. They're not great, but easy enough to drink, not that filling, and yeah, just good for a summer day too. They tend to hold up a little bit better to temperature changes. So as they warm up, they don't get that much worse. They're not great warm, but they're also not amazing ice cold. So let's take a sip. Yeah, you really get that barley flavor to it. Like, this is a very straightforward beer. And honestly, not that bad. It's, like I said, it's an easy one to drink, which sometimes that's what I want. So today's little beer shop talk is going to be about lagers versus ales. So a lager we tend to think of as these fairly Americana beers, the Budweisers, PBRs, Coors, that sort of beer. Which, I mean, the vast majority of what you'll find for a lager, that is what it is. But the difference between a lager and an ale is how it's fermented. So Coors always likes to talk about how cold they ferment at. And that's actually the case for all lagers. That you don't have a lager that is just sitting at room temperature. It gives it a little bit of a different taste, and it's a different style of yeast, which is why it's done at that temperature. So that's really the biggest difference that I can at least think of right off the top of my head. Now, before I hop into all of this, Come On, who just wrapped up their Zombicide Undead or Alive, has also just announced the Marvel United game is going to be getting the X-Men. I reached behind me that you can't see, but I have Marvel United sitting back here, and I have coming all the expansions for it, which will hopefully be here early April, and I'll do an unboxing for those when that happens. But probably next week, I will play the game solo for stream, probably two-handed, since the solo rules I've heard are fine, but people who play it solo have said playing it two-handed is just as easy. It will probably be slightly modified as to how it looks because a game takes up a lot of room. And I want to give you kind of idea of what it's going to look like before that Kickstarter comes. My guess is that Kickstarter, I'm thinking early May for it, but we'll see when they announce it, or when they announce it's going to come out. Let's knock out our unboxings quickly here. So all 3 of these are expansions for the trick-taking game Claim. This is by Scott Alms, who actually is the designer, if I remember correctly, of Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea as well. So this is not going to be all that interesting to look at, because all it is a box. All it is a box. No. Swear there's something in here. Release your goodies. Oh my goodness. This is stupid. So stupid. Honestly, I'm about ready to break this box. Let's try a different one. I will not break it because I'm on stream, but it's also really way more tempting to break it when I'm on stream, because it's really awkward having a box of, wow, cards that, man, they fit this together really snugly. Not snugly, snugly. Not sure how I'm supposed to play this game if you can't get it open. Got one open. So all we really have in all of these is just a pack of cards. And that and the 2 base game, or 2 other versions of the game, or I guess, yeah. These are expansions, I believe. So eventually, I don't need these all in 3 boxes, or 5 boxes even. I swear, they do not want me to show this off to anyone. Which, I mean, it's possible they really don't. I'm doing this on my own volition. But I would think they'd want people to see what their game looks like. This is from Deepwater Games. They're mainly known for doing Welcome To. But we have some pretty nice artwork on here. I like the little bit of a cartoony style to it. It's like, I was wondering if that was a repeat, but I'm not 100% sure that I saw any repeats in there. So it looks like we have some locations, as well as then different monster groups. The monster groups have different animals on them, but similar looking backgrounds. I mean, I guess it's the animal is getting larger. So I'm curious to see. So we have basilisks, phoenixes, unicorns, and locations. Cool. I am not... Oh, that might be why... That's annoying. So, when I just said that's annoying and didn't show anything, that's annoying. Holding it in place. So you can see, if I try and fit these in this way, it's just a bit too narrow, which means I can fit 1 deck per box, which means there's a reason all three of these are in separate boxes, and I'm not going to be able to combine them all unless I change up like the box system for it. Which I actually might, because I think they'll fit. Second here. That's the cover. Too wide in the cover. So if I did cover on cover with built-in some way of holding the covers closed, even if it's just a rubber band or something like that, I'd be able to probably fit everything between two covers. Because that is really annoying. I mean, it's good for shelf presence, but it's shelf presence in someone's home. If I'm going to play this game because it's in my collection, I'm going to play this game because it's in my collection. This is not a selling point for a store to sell it. In fact, a store would want it slightly larger anyway, so it stands out more. So that's just a poor, unfortunate design decision or production decision. And then we have Shadows in Kyoto. So Shadows in Kyoto is a game that came over to the US by Deepwater Games from Emperor S4. Emperor S4 has done several other games, including one that has very similar artwork to this, which is Hanamakoji. I really love that game, and this just seemed interesting. Again, it's a 2-player only game, and I don't know a ton of how it works, but I think there's some Stratego maybe like element to it of trying to figure out where everything is. I really don't know. I like the artwork, I like the art style, and I was very impressed with their previous 2-player game. So we have some cheat sheets here as well, which is nice. So this is one that I'm going to have to find a time to give it a whirl. Well, that's been about 15 minutes of unboxing some very small stuff, or probably 8 minutes or so. And that was mainly me struggling against a box. Now, let's move on to the main course. Have our nice silver platter ready. Let's play some Ganz Schon Clever. So, I'm just going to jump into playing and kind of demonstrate how the solo game works while I actually play it. I'm not going to do a big explanation ahead of time. Needless to say, we're trying to score the most points we can. So we rolled all the dice, and now when I pick a die, anything that's lower than that number would disappear, or would go to this platter here. So I could take any one of these 4s, and the 2 and 3 would go away. But I don't want to do that. I'm going to take this 3 and slide this over slightly. Okay. We're in round 1, so we get a free reroll if we want. Well, a reroll if we want. It's not a free reroll. It's a one-use thing. Now, I'm a little bit further in, so I can only place up to 3 dice here. Do I want to take something like this 5, leaving only the other 5, or would I want to grab one of these yellow or orange? I'm going to grab, or green or orange I should say, the green, which allows me to cross off this spot down here, since that 4 is greater than or equal to 1. Up here I crossed off a 3 in yellow. Final roll. we're going to cross off the 6 in yellow, placing that there. And that is my turn for round 1. The goal is going to be to fill up as many of these spots as possible, get as high a score as possible. Now, in a 1 or 2 player game, you can kind of see it smallly there, you go up to 6 rounds. So I don't actually right now take another normal turn. We're not advancing from round 1 to round 2. Normally in Ganz Schon Clever, when it's not your turn, you're given an option of 3 dice on the platter. You use 1 of them. So I'm going to be using this blue 4, and the blue section here says you always add the white die, this 4 over here, to the total, and so that determines what I cross out. So you can see the lowest number is 2, highest number is 12. Now, round 1 is completed. We advance to round 2, where I get a free +1. I'm going to roll here. I'm going to take that green 2. So that green 2, now in green I've gone from scoring 1 point to 3 points. I'm scoring 1 point in blue, nothing in yellow, nothing in orange, nothing in purple. In yellow, you only score when you complete columns, and purple and orange are based off of the number that you put in there. So, for example, right now I'm going to put these 2 here, take that purple 3, and put it in here. Now, for the purple section, the next number I place has to be larger than 3. So I could do a 4, 5, or a 6. Now, if I put a 6 here, I can't get higher than 6 on 1 die, so it resets. And I have a 4. I'm actually going to cross this out and use my +1. And so with that +1, I can use any of these dice again 1 time. I'm going to use this white 4 to cross out the green 4, and so white is wild card. That gets me another +1, so I can circle it here. Now we have the AI's turn, basically. So we have a 2, 3, 3. So I can't use this 3 because it's not greater than 3. Can't use this 3 because it needs to be 5 or greater that I use to fill there. I can't use this 4 because that's a white 6, which would make it equal to 8. That means then I can use one of these dice, which is great for me because I'll use that white 6. So I now have 9 points in that section, and I can start again at 1 if I wanted to over here. So we've gone through 2 rounds now. I get another reroll for round 3. It shows the bonus beneath the number. And then I roll again. Oof. Well, I know I want to take this one, add it to the 4. That becomes a 5. And that causes me not to lose any dice because everything, you can't roll a 0. So now I have a choice. I can take this one, place it here, take that one, can't do anything with it. I'm actually going to use the 2. So getting a 3 between these 2 dice means that one of them has to be 2, one of them has to be a 1. There are 2 possible ways to get that. So it's a decent thing for me to grab it right now. Then I roll. I actually like this 1 because it allows me to fill in this spot in the yellow. You'll find that one of the things I really go for is to get as many of these +1s on the board as possible. Just because that means I'm using more dice than I'd be able to normally. So I could use that 1 there, put it there, could cross off that 1. This 2 does me no good because I already have that 3 crossed off, but I'm going to use that 5 to get on the board in yellow. So that ends round 3. Now round 4 has a special bonus. I can either use it to place a 6 here or here, cross off the next one here, cross off any of them in this section or any of them in this section. I'm going to cross off the 12 in the blue section. It's going by way too fast, as it always feels like it does. So now I have a 3 and a 1. I'm going to use that 1 to get that 4 crossed off, which gives me another +1 because I filled out that column. Next roll. Perfect. That's what I was hoping I'd get. A blue 1. Cross off that. Fill out that roll. I get the bonus of a yellow 5. So now that I'm starting to kind of chain together some bonuses, I can start to really see my score increase. And I'm going to take that orange 6. Sorry, there's no good way for me to write on that minus. If I did something, logical like that, I now have room to write. Smart one. The beer is helping. So, this is the dummy player's turn. 2, 2, 1. Now, I can't use the blue because that's a 4. I could put a 2 here, 2 here, I could put a 1 there, but none of those are that great. I can use the yellow 2. I have completed this diagonal, which gives me another +1 down here. And I have to look, do I want to use any of these numbers? And I'm good right now. So, roll again. I'm going to start scoring more in purple, I think is my plan right now. Take that 2. This 2 isn't bad. Apologize for the vehicle noise outside. Yeah, like the yellow 2 is usable here. That orange 3 is not great. Let's do the yellow 2. So I could have used the white 2 to do the exact same thing, but this gives me more flexibility because now I can use this 6 right here to be greater than or equal to 6. And I'm actually going to use a +1 on that 6. Let's place it there. This gives me a bonus, allowing me to cross off something up here. I'm going to do that one. Then I'm going to use another +1 on this 5. That becomes a 10 because there's a ×2, hard to read there. And that's good for this turn. I've made a lot of progression. And now we had a most excellent roll here. So I'm going to use this 4 which gives me the ability to cross something off in yellow. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that here. Then I'm going to use my last +1 I have right now on this yellow 5, cross that out, and now I'm scoring in yellow, which is good. That gives me a 4 to place in orange, which gives me another +1. And that ends round 5. So we're getting to the end here. I don't super love that. I'm going to trash that, move that up there. I now have 10, so I can cross that out. Six, yeah. Six crosses that out, which gets me this crossed out, which allows me to then cross something in the blue out, which I'll cross out that, which allows me to cross something in the yellow out, cross out that, which allows me to give myself a 6 in the purple, which gives me another +1. Now I messed up for the ideal scoring along the way, because ideally this is how you leave your yellows. You don't really want to score more points in that. It's an odd thing to max out the score, but I will be scoring more in them at some point in time coming up here. And that is a really crappy roll. I've forgotten to give myself 2 rerolls. I tend to forget to give myself those. So I'm going to use a reroll here, since I'm only going to have, well, this is my last turn. So, let's see. Which do I want to do? I want to do the, no, I want to reroll again. This is my last turn. So I'm going to reroll through all of them. I'm looking for one number in particular. If I can get a purple 6, so this is risky because I can go down in points because purple and yellow, or purple and orange, are based off of the number. So I'm actually going to do the purple 1 here. I'll cross that off. And now the final roll. One, two, three. I actually messed up what I ideally would have liked to have done. So I'm going to use that purple 2. Now I have 2 +1s left to use. Because I used this up here, I'm not going to be able to get the fox bonus in all of these spots. So, fox bonus is, using that, a bonus that you get, which is the number of foxes you've scored. In my case, it's going to be 2, multiplied by my lowest score in an area. That keeps you from really ignoring one part of the game. I'm going to remove this, and I'll show you the scoring here. So, header. The yellow section, I have completed this column and this column. This one gives me 10, this gives me 20. So I'm at 30 points. Then in blue, I just look at the number of them I've X'd out. I actually wanted to have this one X'd as well. Feel like I was 1 die short of what I really wanted to do. That would have given me another +1. So yeah, or another fox. But I do score 46 total points for that section. In the green section, I've made it all the way up here. I look at the number above it, 28. So if I'm doing well, 28 should be my lowest score for a section. I think it will be, because here I have 10, 16, 26, 30, 34, 42. So that's actually a very good scoring section right there. And then with purple, now orange can do better because of the 2 spots that are multiplied. The 18 total points there is good. Purple, if you get lots of 6s, is where you can score. So 9, 11, 17, 23, 24, 25, 26. So just kind of south of where I want it to be. And I have 2 foxes, so 26 times 2 is 52. And I add this whole thing up. 10, 22, 24. And then 9, 11, 2, 22. 224. So to kind of give you an idea of where this lands for me, my best is 299. So in my best, I don't have this filled, so I'll scribble that out. I have this filled, I have this filled. I'm not sure. I feel like I'm 1 die short of what I needed this time. Like I wasted 1 somewhere else. But that can get you, this setup can get you a really high score. I figured out how to do well in Ganz Schon Clever. Now we're going on to the second one, which is similar but different. And one of the ways that it's different is I'm much, much worse at it. I'm so bad at this one. So, same setup, 3 rolls, crossing stuff out. I'll show off how the different sections score as a... Wow, that is a high roll. So, in blue, it's again blue and white added together. I'm going to take that 9. So in the blue section, I now need to place something equal or less than 9 for my next one. Do I want to be risky? I'm going to be risky because I do have 1 reroll for the first time. So I put a 9 there. I get an unlock. So it's actually less risky than I thought because I'm going to use that unlock or return a die to take back the pink die. This means I have 2 options to roll. And we're going to put a 6 in green. So in the green section, they all have multipliers. So this one is times 2, this next one is times 2, and these 2 numbers will be subtracted. Pink can be any number, but the light numbers on them, so greater than or equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I meet that requirement, I get the bonus below it. Gray is a whole weird animal. Come back to that one. And yellow, I circle it the first time. And when I circle stuff, I can get the bonus. So if I get these 2, I gotta fill in something in the blue section. But I don't get any points until I start crossing them out. Which means I have to do every number twice to be able to get it to work. And now let's roll for the game, and let's do this. I'm not sure the logic or priority order as to if there are multiple of the same number, how that it works. I can probably look really quickly. Oh, wow. So it literally is you roll it, and if there's a tie between numbers, you place the 3 dice, and whatever die of the tied number that is closest to this platter goes on it. So no real scientific tiebreaker there. So I could do an 8 up here, or I could do a 3 down here, or I could do a 5 filling in any of these 5s here. I'm actually going to do the 8 because I like that one. And I can now circle one thing in yellow. So I'm going to circle over there. We're done with round 1. We get to go to round 2. I get a +1. You'll notice now at the end of these rows, they give you bonuses as well. Kind of hard to see potentially, but so if you can get all the rerolls or all the +1s or unlocks, you can have a really good scoring game. Really don't want to use you. Don't want to use you. I'm going to use this. So that becomes a 4. All I've done is scored 2 in the green section. But 2 points is good enough. I'm going to do 4 in the pink section. Perfect. Now I'll demonstrate how the silver section works. So where this is silver dice, I would do the same thing as well. Every die below it in value gets placed onto this section plus this one. So I have a yellow 3. I have to cross out the yellow 3. This white 6 doesn't match any of the colors, so I can pick any of the spots. I'm going to pick up here with the yellow. Now for scoring at the end of the game, this is going to go based off of how many you have in each column. So right now I have 2 here, and that's going to give me 4 points. Then I would go down here, if I had any crossed out, here, here, add them all up, and that's my score in that section. So if I really push it, I could fill like out this whole thing, and you can get 88 total points. However, you would be ignoring most everything else, and we don't want to do that. Perfect. So I want to use this yellow 4. Circles there. That's going to give me a pink question mark, so pink of any number I want. Pink is just added total, so of course I'm going to want a 6. I'm actually going to spend my +1 to use this 6 so that I can get 12 in my green section. We now go on to round 3. We gain another unlock. The unlocks just return dice for you. So now here I have a low green. That's 4. I get a total of 8 points. So right now I'm at a total of 10. And that gets me a bonus of being able to fill in 1 in the blue section. So that's an 8. I now have 9, 9, 8, 8. I'm at up to 10 points in that section. Over here, I'm going to grab this 3. Could circle either this one or that 3. I'm going to do this one because I want to try and get that +1. And then, here we go. I'm going to take this 5 for the silver section. I can cross out anywhere here. Of cross out that one. The silver I can use as any of the threes. I'm going to make it a blue 1, the blue 2, and a pink 1. So all of a sudden you can see how I'm starting to score in that area fast without that much effort on my behalf. Because we know the rule now. This one's closer to the silver platter than that one. So 4. Looking here, I can put a 6 in here. I could cross out a 3. I could put a 3 down here, 3 over here, or I can use 4 here, use the 4 there, and grab another reroll. That ends round 3, and we are on to the next round. But before I do that, before I look over here, I get to cross out or circle something in here. I'm going to do this 4 to grab the +1. I'm actually going to re-roll this. I mean, the pink 3 isn't bad, but you for sure are going away. We'll use green 4. That becomes a 12. I gain an unlock. Oof. 1, 2, or 3. If I put the 2 here, I don't get the bonus. I could use that 3, place it here. Yeah, I'm going to use that. No. If I do that, I lose all those dice, but I'm actually going to do that. So I'm going to show you why I'm going to do that. 3 gets me another bonus there. I'll do that. I get that fox, and I get to fill in 1 in blue. So I get another +1. Now, all of these go up here. That kind of sucks. Except I have an unlock. I actually have 2 of them. I'm only going to use 1 right now to bring back that white die. 6. This is why I did it. I now have a really good number. I can make this a 7, grab a reroll. I can put it here to grab another unlock. And now, all 3. So this is interesting because that blue is a 9, can't use it. That yellow, I could circle 1 here, but I don't know that I want to fill in any more yellows. I have to start crossing stuff out. So that 3 is going to be the one that I go with, covering up that. However, now I have a lot of really high dice right here. So I'm going to use a +1 on the pink 5. Go there. It gets me another +1. And I'm going to use a +1 on that white 6. Goes there. That gets me that number there. I can, or a green there. Since this is 12 minus something, I go with the lowest number possible. And that gets me 9 points in that section. And then I'm going to use my last +1 on that green 6 to get up to 18. And I now have that fox in the green section. That ends round 4. We're on to round 5. Here's where things start getting interesting. It's not that great a one for me, so I'm going to use a reroll. Alright, we're going to do something weird. All 4 of these go here. And I get to cross off the purple, the yellow, Can't do the pink, it's already crossed off. And a silver 3, which gets me the fox, and a 4 of my choice. I'm going to do that in the yellow section. Now I'm going to start using unlocks. You can use 1 to get back that yellow. I have a yellow 4. That works for me. And I'm not going to unlock anything else. Perfect. I got a 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Gives me 16 in that section. And I can cross out a gray. Cross out the 1 in the ones column. That gets me another +1. So the only +1 I don't have is right here. When I get that 1, I'll circle here. And now I will be able to get that bonus gray. So let's see what the bot does. Super high rolls. So 6, 6, 5. So we have 4, 4, or 5. If I put the 5 here, I don't get the bonus. So I'm going to hold off on that. I'm scoring pretty well in this section already. I could use that 4, put it here, get that +1, fill it up in here. I could use the 4 to fill in 1 here, but I'm going to use it to get 1 in the yellow section, mainly because we're getting to the end of the game, and right now I'm only scoring 10 points in yellow. So we're on to the last round. We're doing it. Pink 6. Pink 6 sends all of those guys up there. And I can cross out any yellow that I want. I'm going to do this 3 because I have a 3 right here. So I have a 6, 5, and 3. And now I can roll again. I also have an unlock sitting there. I'm going to use that right now to get back the white die. Now, I could use that to fill in right here, the 3. I could use it to fill in a 4, but I don't get the benefit of a 3. I could cross out that 6, but that would get rid of those 2 dice, and I don't have any more unlocks. So I'm going to use the 3 right here. It only becomes a 9, but my goal was to get that +1. Now I can cross out something in the upper section here. I'll do that yellow 2 so that I get full points. I cross the top there, and then I roll these 2. And I got a pretty lousy roll. But I'm going to use this 2. Cross that out. And then on my own turn, I'm going to use a +1 to reuse that 2. Cross that out. I now have completed this. I can get the bonus, cross out a yellow, and cross that one out. So now we're down to 1 + 1. And our choice of these dice. I could take that 1, that doesn't get me anything. I could use that 2, crossing out one of those 2, not super advantageous for me. I could use that 3, but that becomes a 6, I'll do that. Gets me a reroll. Now, I have a choice. Here, I could use my +1, and with that +1, I could take this 5, cross out one of these. Not that great. This 3 could cross out all the 3s already. So nothing here, nothing here. But I could put it here. And I'm going to use it here because that becomes a 6 again. That last +1. allows me to do something in pink, so I can place a 6 there, which means I get this fox. And folks, you will have... I said I was bad at this one. I am bad at this one. This will probably be far and away my highest score ever in Twice as Clever. So let's add them up. Right here, we have a full 6, so that's 22, plus 3 with 3, so 7 each for those. So 21 from 3 times 7 plus 22 is 43. We crossed out 4 of these, which is 36. In blue, we got up to this point where it's 28. 28 kind of seems like that magic number that I like to hit as a minimum. Now this one doesn't give me any points right there because I don't subtract from anything, but I have 16 plus 10, 26, plus 9 is 35. And then we add up down here. 10, 20, 31, 43. Alright, like I said, I have not done well at this game. I think my high is 237. So let's count the number of foxes that got circled. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 28, so 100, since 25 times 4 is 100, and then plus 3 4 times, so that's 12, so 112. This is going to be a massive, massive, massive score, and I don't feel like I actually messed it up, though sometimes I forget to cross stuff out. So I might have to go back and review what I did, but I think I just played it way better than I normally do. The fact I got bonuses on I got every pink bonus I did, I got better yellow bonuses than I normally do. So 10, 19, 22, 27, 10, 18, 19, 297. So my previous high, I swear, was in the 230s. This game just came together perfectly. And we're almost at an hour. And we still have one more to go. And this will be kind of fun because I've played this game on the app quite a number of times. But as you can see, everything's still in its plastic. First time playing the physical version of it. Normally I like to, and I don't think I've done a full review of this game in particular. I've talked about it in comparison to the other ones. I always want to play the physical game first before I give a review. Now this one has really nice dice. These are better dice than the others. And it has a lot of weird things to it. So, for example, this blue I cannot use because I need to be either one less than or one greater than 7. I do have a free reroll to start. I could use this black and I could cross out this 3. If I do that, however, I can't go back and cross out these ever. So it's just however many of these I can get crossed out. Pink 3 is worth half the points, so 2 points since it's rounded up. And then when I get to here, I can either choose to use the multiplier for the points or get half points and use the bonus. However, if I don't use the bonus, that means I'm not going to ever be able to complete these. This 3 I could use to cross out one of these 3s, but I really don't want to do that. And the 4 would get rid of everything, so that's just a bad plan. I'm going to put this one in here. I'm going to use the pink 3 to get myself 2 points. Two, 3, 4, or 10. I'm going to do this 2. And so how this section works, the teal section, is if you complete the teal color in a given section, vertically or horizontally, that's how you get the bonuses. Granted, there's no bonus right down here. The tricky bit, and hopefully I can demonstrate how this works. Perfect. Is I got this white 3. Oops. You are supposed to be, had 2 pens. Gotta put one of them back in Twice as Clever. I like that these games come with pens. So I could put that 5 there. I could cross out this 4 here. Or I can use this 3, and I'm going to use it in the teal section because now I get to cross out a 3 for that die, plus for any others in this section. So I have one more 3. I'm now starting to fill it up. Kind of the same drill as before. High numbers stay, low numbers up here. And I'm going to use this 1 to go 1, 2, because there are 2 1s in that section. And then that gives me a bonus here to fill in another T1. Fill in that one, which gives me a bonus to fill in a yellow one. I'm going to fill in that one. And that's as far as the bonuses go. Now we're on to the next section with our first +1. And I'll talk about this middle one here coming up. This is similar to Twice as Clever. If you make it to the whole way to the end of a row, you get bonuses. So teal 4 is decent, but I'm going to hold off on that. I'm just going to use that pink 2. Only gives me 1 point, but it gives me another reroll. It's not bad. Rerolls are less important in this one, but because of the brown section, in some ways, more important. I really don't like that roll. Alright, so I'm going to take that 2, puts that 1 up there, and I can cross out now 2 in the teal section. I have 1 roll left. I have 5, a 6, a 2. I'm going to use this 6 down here for a 3, and then I'm going to put a 6 there. Now I'm going to use my +1 immediately to use this 6 again, to put a 7 here, and this gets me a die. Basically, it gets me a number on a die. So whenever I want, I can use a 3. But this actually works out really well. I am now into the brown section. Scoring points there. So I cross out with 2, and now I have the ability to use a 3 or a 4. That's not great. Could use that 1 somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to use the 1, put it here. That gets me a brown. Put it there, which gets me an unlock, or a number of a 5. Two, 2. This is tough. Alright, so use this 5, it becomes a 3, get a +1, all of these go away. And there's a reason I feel fairly comfortable doing this. So I'm going to use this. Normally I'd have to go all the way down here, I'd have skipped a ton. However, I have a 3. So I'm going to use that 3. Gets me that. That would be a 6. So divided by 2 becomes a 3. I now have this, which is a 6. I'm also going to +1 to use this white 1, because now I can go 1, 2. I've completed this whole section. I can now put another number in the brown section. So I try and continue down that line as much as possible. That completes turn 3. Or no, not quite. That was my rolls. So 2, 2, 2, 2. So I could use this, fill in 2 of those, which might be what I end up doing. I could use that 2, fill in that, or I could use, that's actually just right in order. So I'm going to use this one, gets me another reroll. So now I start on turn 4. I can fill in 1 of anything that I want. I'm going to fill in that 4 to get myself another +1. Alright. I'm actually going to do this, which gives me a pink. So I'm going to put that there. I can fill in anything in pink. I'm going to do that one, hoping to get that other +1 in there so that I can eventually hit every single +1. Now that 1 doesn't do me a ton of good. I could go with this, put it here, get something in brown, fill in something over here. What do I want to do? Could put something here. Doesn't give me a ton of points. I could use that 5. But I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to go with this one. Gets rid of 2 dice for me. But put a 3 here. Cross that out. Let's do that one there, which gets me a reroll. Ooh. So I could use that 4 right there, or I could turn it to a 5 and get both of those, which would then get me that, Okay. So I'm going to use this 5 right here to go 1, 2. I now get a bluish one, so that becomes a 6. Allows me to fill in something there. Get another +1. I'm actually going to use a +1 right now on that blue 5 to give myself a 7, since I can reset on 7s, and if I were to get into the low or high numbers, I do get a bonus. I've never actually gotten that bonus. I find that it's not worth shooting for. So I can just fill in a 1, not bad. Fill in a 2, not bad. Fill in a 1, get a reroll, not bad. I can also manipulate these numbers a fair amount. Well, I guess to either a 4 or a 6. So I can change, I'm going to change the white 2 to a 4. Allows me to cross off that in brown. So I'll cross that out there. And we're on to turn 5. Huh. 2 isn't bad. Brown 5 is what I'm looking for. Could just do 1 there and get a reroll. Or I could spend a reroll. I'm going to do that. Just going to set these to a side. Take this. I'm going to turn this one into a 6. Because now I have my first fox. Wow, 5, 5, 5. I'll take that as a 3. Grab a reroll. Alright, that's what I was hoping for. 4. Literally hoping for. Because now I can use that in this section. Gets me another +1. And I've completed this. So I get one of these that can be any number now. So we have 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, easy call here. So I'm going to use this 3. That number is a 7. So then I can fill in anything yellow. I'm going to do 3. So I get that fox. Do I want to use one of my +1s? If that was a 5, I'd be way more tempted. I actually need to potentially look something up really quick here. Do I have the rules still pulled up? So you can't see my TV screen, or monitor, I should say, but the version of Clever Cubed, or Clever Hock 3, that I have is German. So I need to look up the precise rules for how I place in the yellow section. Because there are some odd rules for it. Since it'd be a I would not be able to use it right now. To help in the yellow section, I could use this one and fill in that 1, for example. But I'm not going to. I'm going to leave myself, I think with all these... No, I'm going to use a +1, changing that to a 5 to get another +1, since that we're going into round 6. So I'm 1 +1 short, which, let's see, where do I want to try and tackle this one? I could do 2 in yellow. I mean, right now in yellow I'm scoring 14 points, so I feel like I should probably do a 2 in yellow. Plus, it doesn't get rid of anything. Alright, interesting here. Get back to viewing what's going on. So I can take this 2 here, place that there, would give me a wild card for up here, which is really important to have actually. So that, gain a wild card, a wild number. Okay, so I don't actually have to use it right now, which is nice, because I can take this one, that gets me a 6 there, which gets me that last +1, which then okay. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to skip this spot, as much as it pains me to do so. Because then I'm going to use a +1 on the brown to turn that into a, and use the wild to turn that into a 6. Allows me to fill in anything here. I'm going to fill in that, which then allows me to fill in the brown, which now I have that fox. So I still have 2 +1s, but no modifiers for anything. So I'm going to use that pink one to get that purple, which will give me an 8 there. I used a +1 for that. And then I'm going to roll. At this point, it's not worth it me sticking out anything more. So I could use this 1 to fill in that spot, 2 to fill in that spot, 1 there, can't get any more yellow bonuses unfortunately, so because otherwise I could have used it to fill in a 1. So I'm going to go with a 2 here, yellow 2, cross that off, basically just increasing how much that section scores for me. Now I have a +1 to use still. I can't use it for the purple section or blue section because the number isn't right for that. Could use it for the pink, which will allow me then to cross off something more there. I could use it over there, but I'm scoring 36 there. So I'm going to use it on that pink die, get another 3, and cross off 1 right there. And that's it for Clever Hack 3. Let me add up my total. Get all this out of the way. So in yellow, I get 12 per section for a grand total of 36. Green, I have 2 completely filled ones, so that's 42. Plus 1 with 4, that's 10. So 52 plus 2 and 1, which is another 4, so 56. This one tends to skew much higher in its scoring. I have 22 plus 3, so 25 for this section. Brown, I have all but 1 filled in, which means I get 77. And for pink, this is always one of my lower scoring sections because as many 3s as I can't get higher than 3 unless I use the multipliers. But I basically always use the bonuses because it allows me to fill in so much more. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, plus another 4, 28. And then the more important thing now here is I have 1, 2, 3, 4 foxes. 4 times 25 is 100. Let's add up our total. 15, 20, 32, 10, 20, 322. So this is a super high overall score, and that's even with getting a below par score for me on the first game. I think my personal best for 3 games is 800 and some, and this would be this is more math than I was planning on doing, so that becomes a 300. Yeah, so this would be about my high. My high might be just pushing 800. This looks like about 840. Overall, I'm not going to do all that math because it's a lot. But the PBR is gone, so I'm going to wrap up the stream for tonight. I will run through my whole spiel here. If you're enjoying this content, please click that subscribe button, the notification bell so you know when we go live. I'm going to try and do basically every Wednesday at 8 for right now, maybe adding in a few more like week and daytime streams for during the toddler's nap time. But I will those will be a little bit more hit or miss. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of different games. Like I said, next time I think I'm going to be shooting for Marvel United. If you're enjoying this, I put out a whole bunch more content as well. I do a website, nerdologists.com. You can find the information in the details below. And I post at least an article every weekday, fairly often 2. So on an average weekday, or an average week, Monday, Wednesday, or not Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll get 2 articles every day. Monday and Friday, a single article. I talk about all sorts of nerdy stuff, a ton about board games. I'm going to have a ton of them behind me, and that's not even all of them I have. Plus a whole lot of other nerdy topics, anime reviews, books, movies, TV show reviews, all of those things. I also run a podcast, 10 Minute Marvel. You can find that on iTunes, YouTube Music, Spotify, or Stitcher. It's a really fast Marvel podcast, 10 minutes or so every episode. A fair number of them are going to be under that. And I just talk Marvel, what's coming up, what the news is, and talk about a random topic for the day. I've just wrapped up talking about WandaVision for the past 8 weeks. So if you're caught up on that and kind of want to walk through all of the theories, fan theories, and questions that we had, it's a fun spot to drop back in and check that out. I'll be talking about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming up here in 2 weeks when that comes out. And if you want to support, besides checking out the articles and subscribing, I guess, to the podcast as well, I do have a Patreon over at patreon.com/nerdologists. And any money you're willing to donate and to help grow this site, this channel, please consider it. I do have various rewards levels, and I think there are some fun things, hopefully, for people who are interested in helping support it. But that's basically the whole spiel. So, with that, bottoms up.